I want to start this video on the subject that I'm definitely not going to dwell on too much, but because of how I feel about the console wars, I feel I must make a very brief statement on it. Recently, a creator that calls himself Foxy Games bent the knee and admitted that Starfield appeared to be a game that was going to be great. As if this wasn't surprising enough, he also stated that he was purchasing an Xbox and was excited to play Starfield. He actually announced this to his fan base. Now, because I'm aware of how aggressively he attacks Xbox at every opportunity, even if he has to create one, I wondered why he didn't just keep this bit of information to himself, because common sense should have told him that his rabid anti-Xbox fan base was going to be highly upset. Now he's being attacked by the fan base that he nurtured into what it is today. Look, Foxy Games fostered this mentality. He attacks Xbox at every turn, he lies frequently, and is so horrible that even I had to stop watching his videos. I can usually get comedic value out of most of these guys, but Foxy Games seems to peddle more in fanboy scum rather than simply fanboy propaganda. Imagine the Red Dragon on video. Not the old Red Dragon that actually used to be an Xbox fan, but the new one that we all know from Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. Now Foxy Games is upset, but that's like pouring gasoline on a fire and then getting upset because the fire burns more intensely. I mean, Reforge Gaming doesn't have anything on this guy. The larger part of Reforge's content has value, and even when he's in fanboy mode, he at least attempts to seem reasonable, only occasionally delving into a fanboy universe of complete insanity. I would like to imagine that Foxy has learned from the circumstances he currently finds himself in, but to be honest, that's just a little hard to imagine right now. Hopefully I'm wrong, but it will be interesting to see going forward. A while ago, I published this video where I expressed my belief that in this part of the game, the character is possibly traveling through time beyond the Big Bang. In Bethesda's most recent video, you can see the protagonist witnessing what could possibly be the Big Bang as he travels through what appears to be some sort of time machine. If this is the Big Bang, this could be Bethesda's way of indicating that in the game's universe, the Big Bang isn't the answer to man's oldest question, because what is the likelihood that Bethesda would reveal the answer in a video several months before the launch of the game? Or if the protagonist is actually witnessing the Big Bang as they travel through time, maybe the idea is that the character is witnessing the Big Bang as they travel to a time set before the catastrophic event. Personally, I've believed for some time that Starfield was going to tackle some pretty controversial theories about the beginning of life as we know it. But to those in the know, challenging the Big Bang theory is no longer considered controversial because a great number of scientists state that the universe existed long before the Big Bang.
Let me use an analogy. If you have a balloon and you imagine putting dots on that balloon to represent galaxies, and then that balloon inflates, what happens is all the dots move away from each other, and dots that are further apart will move away from each other even faster. And that's exactly the sort of evidence we see in our universe.
This not only flies in the face of many religious ideologies, but also the idea that life started with the Big Bang. A theory that, on its face, seems a bit moronic because, according to that theory, there was nothing prior to a massive explosion. Now it is believed the universe existed before the Big Bang, but was much smaller, then suddenly expanded. Now even the most adamant something from nothing believers now believe, well, there was almost nothing. But now we know that Starfield will touch on some controversial topics, and considering the number of very different religious factions in the game, the manner in which the game will address these topics, at least for now, seems very diverse. While some of the religious factions are based on a spiritual foundation, we know that there will be at least one religious faction that is science-based. In an interview, Emil Paglarulo states the following: "I swear to God, I've never reflected so much while making a game," he says. He's not been practicing religiously for the longest time, but Starfield still pushed and pulled him from atheist to agnostic and back again throughout the development process. So of course we know that Starfield isn't going to provide the factual answers as to what existed before the Big Bang or the origins of humanity, but it does look like they're prepared to tackle some pretty controversial issues. Taking in all of this information definitely gives me a new view on whether or not I want to try to finish the game or not. I mean, I'm not going to be super aggressive in trying to finish the story, but to be honest with you, I was going to kind of ignore the story at first, but now I think I want to kind of get into it just to see how it ends, especially since according to Todd Howard, the new Game Plus feature is going to be something special. It's not going to be like your normal new Game Plus. According to Todd Howard and a couple of other Bethesda Game Studio executives, the new Game Plus in Starfield is actually going to add something to the game. So in other words, if you finish the game, you're going to have some sort of new experience in the game besides the usual new Game Plus features. So I'm really interested in to see what's going on with that. So I'm definitely going to finish the story a lot sooner than I anticipated. Like I said, I'm not going to run through the story. I'm not going to hurry up and try to finish it. But instead of probably never finishing it, I'm looking at probably finishing it in maybe about 3 to 4 months, maybe 5 months. So like I said, I'm not going to be very aggressive in trying to finish the story, but I do want access to whatever it is they're hinting to when it comes to New Game Plus. But anyway, what do you guys think about all of this? I look forward to seeing your comments in the comment section. And hey, if you're not subscribed, that's a problem. Go ahead and take care of that. But hey guys, until next time. Oh, and by the way, please like the video because it does make a difference. It helps out a ton. It helps to get the video into the algorithm and it helps me to build the channel. Anyway guys, all that said, have a great weekend. And look, by the time I drop this video, it's going to be a matter of just a few days before the game comes out. It's going to be out on the 1st. Go ahead and tune back into the channel and check out the gameplay and my comments on the video. And I don't do reviews, but I can give you some basic information about the game as well as you'll get to see for yourself how it plays. Like I said, looking at gameplay is the best way to determine whether or not you think you will like a game or not. But anyway, guys, let me go ahead and cut this short. I keep rambling. Stay safe.